beautiful Baltimore, Maryland, it's Hampden tonight! With your guest, Charlene, Cowan, David, Alima, musical guest from Collesium, it's Matthew Rabowski. Now, put your hands together and make some noise for your host for this evening, Alima.
Great day for Baltimore, everybody! Come on! Man, it is warm out there. Spring has come. Spring has come. Spring has sprung. It is warm. It was a high of 79 today. 79. It was hot. It was such a record high. It was so high. Even the heroin addicts in Baltimore were like, "Man, that's pretty high." That's hot. A lot of people are loving the warm weather. Some people not so much. Some people don't like the warmer weather. You know, Hillary Clinton is out on the campaign trail. She was asked if she likes how she's taken to the warmer weather. She hates it. She hates it. Her heart began to defrost. That's why she hates it. Are you paying attention to all this primary stuff out there? Man, it's so much politics now. It is like a politics atomic bomb just blew up. So many primaries. You know, Sunday in the Democrat debate, Bernie Sanders actually said, "When you're white, you don't know what it's like to be poor." Apparently they don't have trailer parks in Vermont. You know, with a population of 95% people in Vermont are white, I guess it's very hard to find any poor people in Vermont. All those white people, nobody's poor. Nobody's poor. Donald Trump. Thank you, that's the joke. That's the joke. Donald Trump, yeah, no punchline. Donald Trump and the Republican debate last week, Donald Trump was talking about his hands, saying, "Look at these hands. Are these small hands?" He referred to my hands. If they're small, something else must be small. I guarantee you there's no problem. And by that logic, man, it got me thinking about a children's cartoon character. Do we have a picture of him? Kind of changed my perspective on cartoon characters and how big their hands are. You know, her name was Minnie before she met Mickey. Before. Really big hands. Really big hands. You know, when asked for a comment on Donald Trump, his wife Melania said, "I did marry him for something in his pants, just not that." He's got a very big wallet, that's what I'm trying to say. That's the punchline. I just explained the joke, which makes it funnier. It's funnier when you explain the joke. Now, Melania was a model, and if the world gets turned upside down and Donald Trump does become President of the United States, Melania will be the First Lady. Now, she won't be the first lady to have been a model. Yeah, it's a little known fact that 4th President of the United States, James Madison's wife Dolly, was a model. You have a picture of that? Dolly is known for saving the Gilbert Stuart portrait of George Washington from the White House during the War of 1812. The British were coming to attack the White House and eventually burn it down, and Dolly stole that portrait of George Washington. It was known that she saved it because that portrait was known to get her in the mood. Dolly also shares something in common with one of our guests tonight. Tonight we have the master creamer from the Charmery, David Alima. Dolly Madison served ice cream in the White House. ice cream flavors at that time included chestnut, parmesan, and asparagus. Now, Dolly's favorite flavor of ice cream? Oyster. You know, in case that George Washington portrait didn't do the trick. Speaking of all that selection stuff, no one is having it better than our very own current president, Barack Obama. He's loving the political circus going on. Nobody's paying attention to him right now. You know, nobody's paying attention to what he's doing in the White House. All we talk about is what Bernie Sanders did, what Donald Trump is doing, what Donald Trump did, what Donald Trump is saying, what Donald Trump is going to say. That's all we're talking about. It's a very good distraction for our president from his typical routine of playing golf during funerals of Supreme Court justices and speaking at South by Southwest during the funeral of a former First Lady. There's a lot of controversy with the president for skipping these funerals of well-known people from our federal government. When asked for a statement on why he's skipping these funerals, the president responded, "Meh." Of course, the president's actions solidify what he really believes, that the only good Republican is a dead Republican. Well, we're going to have a great show for you. Enough of this political stuff, except for our first guest, who is actually one of those Republicans. From Baltimore City Republican Committee is Charlene Cowan. Now coming to the stage, please give a warm welcome for our first guest, Miss Charlene Cowan. Well, welcome, Charlene. The Republican Party in Baltimore.
Yep. One of 26 Republicans in Baltimore.
I'm just saying, making sure you do exist. Where is your third eye? I can't. There's something wrong, right? There's something. No, you look fine to me. You look great.
Okay.
You look great. Thanks for coming. Thanks for playing around. How did you become one of these Republicans?
Well, I wasn't always a Republican. I was a Democrat for a long time. Mostly,
Very popular in the city.
Mostly to piss my dad off.
That's a good reason to have a political position,
And,
is to piss off your parents.
But as I grew older, like I voted for Barack Obama in 2008, and as I grew older, I started to realize that like actually listen to what people were saying, what politicians were saying, and realize that a lot of the views of the Democratic Party were not mine. And I switched.
Interesting. Now, the next question has to do with misconceptions. So answer it truthfully and honestly as you can. Why are you such a racist, sexist, homophobic bigot? Why?
Well, actually, that's not true. And, you know, people say the truth, which is that this is the party of the African American. Abraham Lincoln was a Republican.
Dating back to the middle of the 19th century.
A lot of women in the suffrage movement were Republicans. That's how they pushed the Republican Party to get women the right to vote. So it is the party of African Americans and women.
How do you think now the Democrats would object and say that they are the party of the minority population, of the ethnic minority, of women, of anybody else who's a minority?
Well, it's just a lie. It's the spin that they keep telling over and over again.
No, why do you think that's appealing?
Because people want you to tell them what they want to hear. And I think that they'll say anything to get votes. They'll make promises like, oh, you can keep your doctor with Obamacare, or, you know, anything to just get people to vote. Get people out to vote. They'll say things like, Republicans are trying to do away with Roe versus Wade, which isn't exactly true. They'll say Republicans are homophobes and they wouldn't have passed all these laws for same-sex marriage, or which they didn't even do. The Supreme Court did, but they're just lies that they tell to get votes.
Now, you're a minority in this city, Baltimore, as a Republican in a highly Democratic city. As a minority in that aspect, would you think of voting Democrat?
No. No, we've actually tried to do a lot more outreach lately. So I don't know if anyone's seen, we've been on overpasses on I-83, holding up huge Baltimore's New Hope signs. So we've also been flyering, and we're going to be hosting some debates this year, hopefully.
All right, is that for mayoral candidates?
Well, we haven't planned one for the mayoral candidates yet, but we have one in the 1st district, for Republicans in the 1st district.
Okay. Now, what is the relevance of the Republican Party in the city of Baltimore, if there is one?
I don't think there is one, no.
No?
Just kidding. Honestly, our country was founded on having a lot of different opinions and a lot of different voices, and coming together to have the best plan, put forward the best plan, and make sure that everyone's represented. And I don't feel like it's fair in Baltimore to have one party rule everything for so long. There hasn't been a Republican on the city council since the 40s.
Well, and that's been such a long time. So with all that Baltimore has become, I mean, we've seen the racial tension this past year, you know, with Freddie Gray, with the police, with a Democrat mayor, with a Democrat city council, and there's nowhere for the blame to go, but it seems like a particular party that's held power for such a long time. So, well, why are people in Baltimore still voting for the same? I mean, even after so much time, it would seem like somebody would say, "Hey, we need an actual change." Well, why do you think that's going on today? That many people in Baltimore, that the Democrats have the monopoly of political power in the city?
I think it comes from when people are growing up. It's kind of like I've been told by some people in Baltimore that voting Democrat is like your religion. Like you've grown up, your parents voted Democrat, your grandparents voted Democrat, and you really you haven't had any exposure to what Republicans are really like. They've just been demonized in the media and demonized by politicians around you. So you kind of vote what you know, and since Republicans haven't had any real exposure to the city, that's why Democrats have done so well here. But that's changing because we're doing more outreach. We have a lot of candidates this time, especially in the 1st district, that are really good candidates.
All right, thank you. One final question here to wrap us up. A lot of celebrities, a lot of people are saying if Donald Trump becomes president, they're going to move. There's been an ad in some Canadian village for people to come move there if Donald Trump gets elected president. Where would conservatives, Republicans such as yourself move if Hillary Clinton were to become president? Where is one to go?
Well, I think that after this fiasco, really, with the nomination of the Republican Party, I really don't think that Hillary Clinton is going to be president. I don't even think she's going to make it that far, considering all the crimes that she's committed with the emails. You know, recently it came out that she wrote over 100 classified emails and sent them on a classified system. She has no regard for protecting our nation. She makes her own rules, and I don't think the president should do that.
Interesting. So some high hopes coming from that side, hoping that
the party might be
the party.
I'm probably the biggest anti-Trump person that you'll ever meet in your life. So I just want to put that out there, that we're not all Trumpkins.
Trumpkins. Or Drumpkins. If you're watching other late night talk shows besides this one. Alright, well thank you so much, Charlene. It's been a pleasure having you as our guest. Please give it up for Charlene. Oh, we're back? Hey, Cole.
Yes?
Have you heard about this new thing called the periscopes?
Why, I usually use a typewriter. What is it?
It's It's an application or an app on the smartphones.
Ah, yes, yes, I've heard about these. I use a brick.
Come check it out. Come check it out.
Why? What a magnificent device. Now what does this periscope, as you say, do?
Now, it allows me to access whatever someone is streaming live from their phone.
No.
Like, Little Miss Vegan 87.
This is a thing we can watch, here, now, amongst ourselves?
Yeah, take a look at her.
She's got a basket in this day and age.
I know.
My God.
Like hey what? Guys, so I'm that vegan, Little Miss Vegan 87.
That vegan.
Today I have fake chicken made from, you guessed it, vegetables.
They can do that? My God.
Apparently. I don't know. I've been so entranced. I've learned so many new recipes from this show, like the one she's probably gonna just talk about, because vegans love talking about the crap they eat.
Mr. Long, can I ask you, is this a sex thing?
Not to my knowledge. I mean,
wonderful.
Yeah, there's no sex things on Periscope.
Excellent. It's a wholesome channel for wholesome things.
It tastes like my privilege.
She is so white, it's beautiful.
I thought it was being hosted by a ghost. Magnificent, magnificent.
And the best part is she can never be poor. Because she's white.
And can afford vegetable chicken. But there's other channels in that. No, it's not just the one thing.
There's many things.
Sir, you kid me.
Watch this. Here, I can search all over and I can find like here's a channel in Fed Hill.
Who is that handsome fellow?
Big Bro 7777778.
That's a lot of sevens. He's a very lucky bro indeed.
It might be difficult to see him in the shadows. He's just dancing.
I believe this man is innocent because I've heard that guilty feet have no rhythm, and he has rhythm.
He's so funny. I wish I could hear the music that's playing, but apparently he must have missed that over the sound of his own muscles flexing.
I believe that's the sound of his muscles popping in and out over and over again. That can't be healthy.
On the chain gang.
Oh!
That's the sound of his muscles popping on the chain gang.
And where's the drop?
You don't need weights to get ripped, bro. All you have to do is flex.
He seems full of life advice. I should follow him more. And just to be sure, this also is not a sex thing.
No, it's not a sex thing.
Wow!
Nobody would ever think of having sex with somebody in Fed Hill.
That's true. It's basically a penis with waistline.
And that's what I always assume. Now let's get out of Fed Hill. Zoom out. Look, I can zoom out.
Zoom out?
And I can zoom in. And I can zoom out.
What?
And I can zoom in again.
Sir, you're hurting my head.
And I can zoom into our very own neighborhood of Hampden.
Here?
And
really?
I can go live to Hampden Tonight.
What?
Which is the name of this show, but also a time and a place.
It has two meanings. This thing can hold multiple meanings at once.
And look, and I got Mr. Kitty's kitties.
Cats.
Yeah, allegedly.
Come here, Fluffers! Fluffers! Come back to me! Fluffers, it's the time for the show, Fluffers!
Now...
Fluffers, come back for the show!
We're sure
Fluffers
this
is
isn't a sex
coming!
thing.
Fluffers will be here! Don't, no! Mr. Rob, heart, don't leave! Don't leave my channel, you're my only viewer! Mr. Rob, don't! Fluffers will be back! Fluffers, Hampden Tonight, are you my friends? Will you give me a heart? Fluffers, we have new friends, Fluffers!
Are we
So the best thing is that we can interact with them. We can send them messages. Like, I'm gonna write this message saying,
Sir, are you mentally ill?
No, we don't yell at it, we type it.
Oh.
So I'm gonna type, sir, are you mentally ill? Send. No, it only works if he's facing the camera, otherwise he can't see it. Apparently he's finding Mrs. Fluffers. I'm gonna ask him, where the hell is Mr. Fluffers?
I don't think these cats are real, Adam.
You don't think my cats are real?
See? He sees mine now.
Interacting. It's like he can read my mind when I say it out loud.
Hampden, 1023 West 36th Street. You don't believe my cats are real? Me and Fluffers are gonna come down there to Zissimo's bar, and you're gonna find out just how real my cat is.
All right, now don't be afraid, Cole, because all I gotta do is tap the screen multiple times, and he'll see a whole bunch of hearts, which means we love him.
Come here, Fluffers, come here. Aw, Hampden tonight.
Wow. It's like heroin, but online.
I can't stay mad at you.
I have no idea. And also, with Periscope, you can buy heroin. Let's zoom out and go into a place called West Baltimore. Or we can bring in our next guest.
You know what? I'm gonna go wait by the door with a knife in case that guy decides to come by. But you see your next guest, sir.
Good idea, Cole. That was fun, introducing you people to the new application on the smart device called the Periscopes. Now it's time to introduce our next guest, all the way from the Charmery, 2 blocks that away, Mr. David Alima. Welcome to Hampden tonight, David.
I feel so underdressed.
Well, I'm glad you could dress up for the event.
Of course.
That's so Hampden, as we say, here at Hampden tonight. How are you doing, man?
Just delightful. How are you?
I feel like I've known you for the past 20, 30 minutes already.
Absolutely.
This is great. So
Terrific.
So you are the master creamer. That sounds kind of dirty.
It's not dirty.
At the Charmery.
It's not dirty.
Which is not a sex thing.
Serious. Very serious.
It can get confusing on Hampden because we've got sugar on this corner, which has nothing to do with candy. But then go a few more corners down the block and we've got the Charmery,
True.
which has to do with
Ice cream.
ice cream.
Ice cream.
Look, I told you, I felt like I've known you for so long. You're completing each other's sandwiches. Sandwiches. Tell us, how did you get involved with ice cream? What makes a master creamer a master creamer?
Well, I just started making ice cream about 15 years ago. Was gifted a mini Cuisinart ice cream maker and went from there.
Wow, it's like if Sarah Lee was hypothetically giving Easy Bake Oven. She became Sarah Lee. You were given.
I love Sarah Lee.
You were given the Cuisinart ice cream maker.
It was amazing. Absolutely.
And now you have your own store.
Absolutely.
Making delicious ice cream. You know, we're a comedy show. I'm just gonna get right to it. Do you know any ice cream jokes?
You really put me on the spot here.
I'm sorry. Yep, sorry to do that. I scoured the internet. I couldn't find any. I was hoping a master creamer such as yourself.
I got one for you.
All right.
Now you know we make our own ice cream, right? We do it all from scratch, fresh ingredients. That's the setup.
Okay. Fresh ingredients.
What do you get when you buy commercially produced grocery store ice cream?
What do you get when you buy commercially produced, like Turkey Hill, like Breyers, like Eddie's on the West Coast? What do you get, David?
You ready? Breyer's Remorse.
Oh man!
Come on, that's not bad.
That was good. We gotta get you in the rotation here at the Charm City Comedy Club.
Put me in, Coach. Put me in.
No, you say you make all your handmade ice cream, handmade from scratch.
Absolutely.
How do you make your handmade ice cream from scratch, handmade from scratch?
Well,
without giving away all your secrets.
I can't give away too much, but we use fresh ingredients. We use local ingredients whenever possible. We partner with all the local bakeries, Burger, Otterbein, Kinderhook. Anyone who makes beautiful products, we like to put them into ice cream.
Sweet, keeping it local, keeping it fresh.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. What are some of your favorite flavors, and what is the kind of process that goes into making that favorite?
Okay, so I think one of my favorite flavors was the sorbet we made, and we took these beautiful fresh Mirabella plums, They're incredible, and we kind of peeled them and cradled them and showed them like so much love.
Yeah.
And then we put a bunch of tang in it. And
like with the astronaut string.
with the astronaut, right? And we called it the George Mira tang. And it's in tribute to my favorite basketball player of all time, 7'7", George Mira-san, Romanian beast.
Yeah.
Highest free field goal percentage in the league for 1 year, one glorious year. Star of the movie My Giant with Billy Crystal.
Used to play for the Washington Bullets back when that was a thing.
Heck of a guy.
We're showing our age now.
Heck of
when
a
they
guy.
used to play in Maryland, not in DC.
Landover.
Yeah, that was great.
It was great.
It's a great flavor. Any other fun flavor names?
We just did one for Valentine's Day that is either terrible or amazing, somewhere in between. And it was a thyme honey frozen yogurt, so the spice of thyme. And we called it Make Time Froyo Honey.
Oh.
Come on now.
That's cute.
That's not bad, right?
We've got a lot of couples buying that up.
And feeding each other across arms. It was romantic.
I try to do that with my girlfriend, do the little airplane thing. She doesn't like it. She's a girlfriend. I do have a girlfriend. Surprise! Joke's on you! They're laughing because they've seen her in real life.
What an absolute lovely lady she is.
She's a wonderful.
Oh, what a
well, I'm gonna send you out on this ice cream joke. Kind of a callback to something you just talked about.
Bring it.
What did Ernie say to Bert when Bert asked him if he wanted some ice cream?
Give it to me.
Sure, Bert. Thanks for that one chuckle. Going out with a chuckle. All right, David, Alima, everybody. And now we're going to kick it to another commercial break. We've got an awesome musical guest today. Ladies and gentlemen, Collesium!
Start right away, right? Yeah.
committee. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. And David Alima from the Charlery. Give it up for him. Gotta play us out one last time. You got one more in you, Matt?
Yeah, man, yeah.
All right, come on, play us out, buddy. All right. Good night, Hampden.
Thrust. Thrust. Thanks again. Okay, hold on, give me 1 second here.